The Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence has backed its House of Representatives counterpart on the call for new aircraft for President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kassim Shettima. Now, the chairman of the committee, Umar Shehu Boba, who spoke to pressmen on Saturday night from Saudi Arabia, where he's performing this year's Hajj, said not quickly overhauling the presidential air fleet could endanger the lives of the president and his deputy. The House Committee on National Security and Intelligence had, in a report forwarded to the presidency, asked the federal government to immediately procure 2 airplanes for Messrs. Tinubu and Kassim Shettima to secure the transportation of the country's top officials. Now, the call by the House Committee immediately triggered widespread criticism by some Nigerians who questioned the wisdom in buying new airplanes at the time Nigeria is facing severe economic hardship. Royal Chief, are you in support of that?
Yes, they have. I think the life of everybody is very important. We have seen what happened in our neighbor's country where aircraft have issues. But my question would be that I think we have about 8 aircraft mainly for the government business, for the presidency. 8 that was recently bought by the immediate past administration. In 2020, they bought some new aircraft. And I want to ask, how long the aircraft last before you talk about replacing it? If they to replace it after 3 or 4 years, how could the people in the aviation sector survive? How are they managing their own? How are they managing the one they are using? Even the one we have here in Rivers State, at a time it was sold to another neighboring states. And I think when that happened, they are still using it. So for me, so I don't know, are they, the 2 they are going to buy, they should tell Nigeria the cost of buying one. And let's look at the cost of repairing the other one that we'll still be using. Okay. Yes, that is one. Then 2, since we have 8 that is there, how many is completely bad? And when was those 8? Let's look at their year of their lifespan. How many years supposed one aircraft the president is supposed to use one aircraft and it should be changed? And how long is it going to? So because I'm confused about this complaining that the aircraft is bad. I'm confused about it. But if actually it is bad, it is good to be changed because it carries human lives. It carries people's families. It carries a lot of people. You don't know who may be related to you that can have access to the presidency and board those flights. So if it is bad, it should be changed. But if it is not bad, let us maintain the one we have.
Okay. Yes, Dr. John.
I say one would say the lifestyle of those at the presidency does not reflect the economic realities of Nigeria. People keep saying we criticize too much. An airplane, a new airplane, is supposed to last for at least 25 to 30 years. But I am not against the idea of procuring aircrafts for the presidency. But Nigeria is at the crossroads as we speak. Much as we are after nobody prays for any bad thing, that a plane should crash and so on. No. But the idea of procuring 2 more new planes, like Chief said, about 6 or 8 years ago, about 6, 7 years ago,
yes,
new aircrafts were procured. The same excuse was given by the previous administration, and they procured new aircrafts. Who is actually benefiting? Is it the presidency or some contractors? Is it the aviation minister? Has he gotten suggestions from people? Are there people offshores who are ready to do deal with Nigeria? So this idea of, oh, the aircrafts are bad and so on, is rather lame for me. It's lame. Because...
So what do you think should be done if the excuse is lame? Remember, we're talking about the lives of our leaders.
What lives are we talking about? An average of Nigerians die every day, some because of hunger. Some commit suicide because their lives are hopeless. You are talking of the presidency. Eh? Which leader? You are a leader in your family too. much as we appreciate what the leaders what the leaders are doing, in a democracy, the interest of the people is paramount. In South Africa, when Mandela was president, they tried to push him to run for another. He said, no, no, no. I will be too weak. In some cases, people, presidents, and so leaders sacrifice even what they have to ensure that when Bill Clinton, for instance, was a two-term president in the United States, when they left office, they went and bought a house that was built in 1930. And even at that, they were still probing where he got the money. They say, oh, Chinese were contributing so much money to enable the man to buy houses. So it is not as if in a democracy, the president should live in heaven and the ordinary man, ordinary Nigerian should live in a rat hole. That's not the rule of the game. Okay. The rule of the game is the president has to make sacrifice. Yes, there are, the complaints are genuine, but the area where I doubt the complaints is that these aircrafts, there are some aircrafts that were procured midway into Buhari's administration.
Yes.
Aircrafts last for 25, 30 years before they can begin to develop fault. I am not saying man-made error cannot lead to anything. But let us consider the cost of living crisis in this country. Let us consider the fact that the average Nigerian is dying, not because he is sick, but because of basic things like food. Basic necessities like food, drinking water, transportation. So, well, nobody will stop them. They have merely told the Nigerians that they want to buy aircraft. If they want to buy 5, that's okay.
Remember that during Buhari's tenure, about 2 aircrafts were being sold, put for sale.
Yes.
Yes. So while we're talking about all of these aircrafts being available, and well, if you're looking at the economic state, like some Nigerians have mentioned, state of the economy right now, and said that's not what we need at the moment, then of course you have your thoughts on that one.
Now what I'm saying is this. The most worrisome issue here is that Nigeria as a nation does not have a national carrier. If you go to Saudi Arabia, they say Emirates. If you go to Kenya, you have their airline. If you go to Ethiopia, you have their airline. What is the official airline of Nigeria? We don't have a national carrier. Is it only the president that should move? Fly from country to go? We don't have a national carrier. I expect the Minister of Aviation to work towards, having a national carrier. The past Sirika, what's his name? The past aviation minister deceived the country, brought in another, the carrier of another country to deceive the entire nation. That Nigerians look at our national carrier. I expect they should make a plan that in the next 6 months, Nigeria should have been able to bring on board its national carrier. Which airplane will they identify with Nigeria? None. Air Peace is privately owned. This other, Dana belongs to another thing.
Yes.
What is the popular one? Arik is individually owned.
Yes.
Which one can Nigeria be identified with as a nation? So, well, they can go ahead to buy, but they are not sensitive to the needs and aspirations of the average Nigerian. We will take it that they are not sensible enough to know what is happening.